Good day, everyone. Thank you for your interest in today's session and don't get penalized. BIR cost compliance made simple for modern businesses. My name is Erica and I'll be your host for today's session. This recording will be uploaded on our official social media page so you can watch it anytime at your convenience and share it with your team or colleagues who may benefit from it. Today's session is very helpful, especially for businesses that are preparing for BIR CAS compliance and those currently using manual or non-compliant accounting systems. If you are unsure whether your system is BIR ready, then you are definitely in the right place. Should you have any questions after watching, feel free to reach out to us. Our team will be more than happy to assist you with your cash requirements and inquiries. Before we proceed into our main discussion, allow me to briefly introduce our company, who we are, what we do, and how we help businesses improve their operations using modern practical solutions. We also walk you through our key products and services, our technology partners, and how the solutions can support your day to day business needs. To give you an idea, here is a quick overview of what we cover in this presentation. Over the next 15 to 20 minutes, we'll take a closer look at each of these topics together. So, without further ado, let's get started. Our history and future. Sorry. Welcome to our organization. Who is Pixel Care? Pixel Care is a transformation-driven company helping our clients elevate their current platforms to the next level. Through our portfolio of solutions, we enable businesses to stay aligned with evolving industry trends, remain competitive, and gain a lasting edge in an ever-changing market. Next, our history and future. We didn't become expert overnight. Our journey started 12 years ago in Singapore. Since then, we've been operating across multiple disciplines in development and digital transformation. We started our journey as a development house, focusing on websites, e-commerce platforms, and workflow systems. Over time, we expanded into ERP implementations, partnering with leading providers such as Microsoft, SAP, and others. This allowed us to deliver both industry specific solutions and customized workflows that support meaningful business transformation. Every great building needs a solid foundation, and for Pixel Care, that foundation is our mission, vision, and core values. Our mission is to deliver efficient, high quality services that consistently meet the highest standards. Our vision is to become a trusted, top tier solutions provider, always staying ahead of the competition in a rapidly evolving market. We are guided by what we call our three pillars of consulting, which shape how we work and how we serve our clients. And this is number one, integrity, upholding strong ethics and professional business practices across the industry. And the second is innovation, driving continuous innovation by investing in new technologies, transformation products and services. And the last is customer service, delivering exceptional customer service with a strong focus on achieving the highest levels of client satisfaction. Next is our milestone achieved. Our operation have continuously evolved, marked by several key milestones achieved over the years. This includes maintaining a strong team of skilled professionals, steadily growing our client base, expanding into new markets, and delivering innovative solutions along the way. On the screen, you see our growth over the years, and we are proud of maintaining of 25% yearly customer growth rate and 4.5 product rating by customer. And on this slide, you'll see a several buckets that represent snapshots of our core products and solutions. Our expertise is broad and spanning end-to-end IT consulting with a focus on efficiency and compliance. Yeah. Our industry and expertise. Over the years, our team has gained extensive experience working with the operational complexities of various industries. This exposure gives us a strong advantage in understanding clients, challenges, and depth and delivering effective solutions tailored to their needs. And why choose Pixel Care? Now you might be asking yourself, why choose Pixel Care? It comes down to our deep industry expertise. We don't just provide software, we bring years of experience and SAP Business One across multiple sectors to ensure your project is a success. First up is Business One designed especially for small and medium enterprises. And next slide is digital warehouse management system. It's ideal for addressing specific logistics needs within the functional blocks you see on the screen. It enables seamless integration of warehouse operations via mobile devices and can fully integrate with the ERP. And the next slide is Xeonic POS, or our point of sale solution designed to streamline business operations. The next slide is Field Service Management, or FSM, for business offering service such as repair and maintenance, delivery tracking, handyman services, engineering works, and miscellaneous task management. Our homegrown Field Service Management, or FSM, addresses all of these needs, helping businesses manage operations efficiently and effectively. Next slide is Dynamic 365, or Business Central. Microsoft ERP and CRM consulting is focusing on traditional implementation, support, and change management. This practice is specifically for clients who are interested in or already using Microsoft solutions, where we step in as their trusted service partner. And next, we move into the modern businesses, which is Pinnacle e-invoice. Government across the ASEAN region have been working together to harmonize trade practices. One key initiative is to standardize and digitalize business invoicing, ensuring invoices are electronically submitted to their respective revenues authorities. And the next one is our ERP solution, or Axalor. Many clients have recently requested mobile app solutions to streamline workflows and handle quick tasks such as approvals, leave requests, timesheets, and ERP related processes. Pixel Care has developed several such applications and has the capability to customize workflow to meet specific business needs. And now let's move into the future of manufacturing. With our smart factory solutions, one of our largest base of clients who often are working with the makeshift or manual work around to cater into their daily operational needs. And for Pixel Care, identifies a need for companies such as this to opt on better roadmaps to run their routine in the most efficient way they could. Next slide is our success at Pixel Care, our partner alliance. As a software development company, we partner with a range of organizations that provide complementary solutions and services. The slide on your screen highlights our formal partnership and collaboration, which allow us to form a strong consortium to seize opportunities as they arise. And now let's look at our clientele. This slide of our favorite because it represents the real world impact of our work. Over the last 12 years, we've had the privilege of working with a massive variety of businesses, from retail chains and manufacturing. And next slide is our team. At Pixel Care, we are proud to have a dedicated and hardworking group. And the CEO is Mr. Praveen. Next slide is the testament to trust of our clients. And that's the global footprint, means that when you are partnering with Pixel Care, you aren't just getting a local vendor, you are gaining a partner with the experience and infrastructure to support your business wherever it may grow. We bring a diverse, multinational perspective to every challenge, ensuring that our project footprints leading to your long-term success. And thank you so much for your time and attention. It's been a pleasure sharing our company profile with you. At Pixel Care, we are committed to helping business streamline, simplify, and scale. It is my pleasure to introduce our speaker for today, Mr. Dindo Pagdatu. He is the project manager at Pixel Care Consulting Corporation, and today he will be sharing insights about Don't Get Penalized, BIR CAS compliance made simple for modern businesses. Let us welcome Mr. Dindo Pagdatu. Sir.
Good morning, everyone. Ma'am, iba yung screen.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's a pleasure to meet you, everyone. Good afternoon. Kas. Wala pa yung screen, ma'am. Iba to. Sige, okay lang.
Here, sir.
Ayan. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining our live webinar regarding the BIR CAS compliance. CAS is a compliance from the BIR. Okay. So we will make it simple. Pixel Care will guide you throughout the processes, the steps, and everything until you achieve what we call the acknowledgement certificate for CAS, or computerized accounting system. Okay. Actually, the CAS is just a module. It's just also a compliance. Technically, this is a module that alignment in terms of reporting from the source, or multiple source, or different systems aligned to the BIR reporting. So they established the computerized accounting system since 1983, when the computer evolved in the Philippines. So dati kasi yan, mga manual yan. Kailangan natin magbayad ng third party, liaison officer, hard copy yung mga dokumentong yan, dadalhin sa RDO kung saan kayo reported. Yan. Matagal na yan, yung CAS na yan. Hindi lang, unti-unti lang, nagkakaroon lang ng addendum dun sa memorandum na last sinay ng commissioner ng BIR. Nagkakaroon din kasi ng dyan sa BIR side, to prevent naman yung nagkakaroon ng changes or failure dun sa reporting dahil mali yung ganito, ibabalik ulit. So, yan yung sa side ng BIR para ma-address nila yung concern na yon. Sa side naman po ng mga consumer, sa side ng taxpayers, old taxpayers, when we say taxpayers, regardless kung large taxpayers yan or SMEs, small, medium enterprise, lahat tayo, kahit individual, meron tayong tinatawag na VAT or value added tax sa lahat ng ginastos natin, income, tsaka outcome, may tax yan, diba? So, yung VAT input na tinatawag, ito yung sa purchases, mga ginagastos natin. Then yung VAT sales output naman yon, nire-report pareho yan sa BIR. Okay. So, para lang tumama or ma-align yung kasi iba-ibang system, iba-ibang format ng reporting. So, ito yung ginawa ng BIR ngayon. Gumawa sila ng alignment, gumawa sila ng CAS na lahat yun pumasok. Pag pumasok dun sa CAS, pagdating sa kanila, iisa lang yung tinitignan nila para lang madali natin maintindihan. So, yan lang yung lahat ng CAS. So, lahat yun, ang 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 point primarily ang point dito ng BIR, tinagalog ko na para madali maintindihan. Lahat ng gumagamit ng yan yung register, yung mga machine na nagpo-produce ng resibo o ng invoices, kailangan mag-report sa CAS, i-align sa CAS yung reporting. So, registering, for example, si SAP, yan yung mga POS, yan, steady mo lang dyan, yan. Ita-translate natin yan. So, registering a computerized accounting system with the Bureau of Internal Revenue in the Philippines is a key step for businesses aiming to streamline financial reporting and ensure tax compliance. Yun yung nabanggit ko na kanina. Hindi lang tax compliance yan, may benefit yan sa side ng taxpayers. Una, yun nga, mababawasan yung mga headache sa accounting, lalo na yung mga compliance team under accounting or treasury, sila yung mga nagre-report yan, mga tax compliance. So, by every quarter yan, by April, nagre-report tayo, di ba? Ang daming hinihingi. Minsan, pati yung mga sa LGU side na compliance. When we say LGU side na compliance, ito yung mga business permit, mayor's permit, kini-question pati yun kasi may mga ancillary clearances yan eh. 'Di ba? Sa F&B may mga ancillary clearance, kagaya ng mga fire, yung mga marami sanitary, yun yung mga kailangan kaakibat yan. So nag-uusap yung mga yan. Si LGU sa BIR, RDO, nag-uusap yung mga yan kung paano nila yung pagkakasunod, yung hierarchy ng mga requirements. So, dun naman sa mga bago pa lang mag-establish ng company, I would suggest na yun, i-CAS na kaagad natin habang maliit pa yung data. Hindi na kasi yung iba kasi existing in the middle of transaction, may pagbabago ang government. Ito nga nag-CAS, malaki na yung data. Ngayon yung CAS reporting na hinihingi naman ng BIR is yung historical data nyo yon. So ibig sabihin, dapat simulan natin dun sa tama na yung proseso. Tama yung proseso, pati yung mga reporting, para pag lumaki yung data in the future na nagkaroon ng involvement dun sa side ng government reporting like yung BIR CAS na yan, align na siya. Madali na lang i-streamline yung process. So, and also the computerized accounting system is a prior requirements for electronic invoicing. Electronic invoicing, maliit module siya na naka-integrate doon sa existing system natin or sa taxpayers, existing system ng taxpayers na ito lang siya yung gumagawa ng automation naman ng reporting. For example, nag-i-invoice si taxpayer sa module ng ERP niya, sales invoice, nagtatransact. So nagre-report na kaagad yan automatic. Nag-generate ng report yan through CAS dun sa system nila. Si i-invoice naman, ang gagawin niya, i-automate niya yun, ipupush niya yung report na yun real time. May option yun na real time, pwedeng i-manual, papunta naman sa BIR server. So, yan yung methodology of reporting in terms of digitalized to sa BIR site. Next slides, ma'am. What is BIR? Okay. The need to implement a BIR accredited computerized accounting system, it becomes more is becoming more urgent as the Bureau of Internal Revenue continues to tighten its enforcement. So mahigpit sila pagdating dun sa, kasi meron na inilabas na memorandum since 2024 yata yan. For those 100 large taxpayers, sila yung kailangan ma-involve or makipag-cooperate in terms of compliances ng CAS. So marami diyan nakaka-receive ng letter. Marami silang nare-receive na, may mga nakaka-receive ng letter na ganito ganyan, binibigyan na ng deadline kasi 3 consecutive months na hindi ka mag-report based dun sa assessment ng LGU or ng NO or ng yung NO National Office ng BIR kung large taxpayers, kasi sila large taxpayers, or LTS or LTAD is reporting directly to national office, hindi dumadaan po yan sa regional. So yun na sa screen, ito yung mga major accounting system, accounting software, kasama dyan yung mga SAP, QuickBooks, yung mga ganon. Meron din tayong point of sales. Ang pinagkaiba lang po niyan, si CRM and point of sales, required po yan ng permit to use prior to CAS. Hindi ka pwede mag-CAS muna kung walang permit to use si POS and CRM. So yung CRM, ano na to, napakaluma na nito. Ito yung mga cash register machine ng, like for example, sa ibang establishment dati, na may mga 30 mm na resibo na wala kang makikitang description o name ng items na binili mo, kundi puro numero lang. PLU type sila. Ito yung price lookup unit na tinatawag. Yan yung CRM. Yung point of sale is a complete set of, para siyang malaking calculator na nag-generate siya ng sales invoice. Dati OR, tapos inalign nila yan. Inisa na lang lahat yan. Kung yung accounting software mo, meron kang sales invoice, meron ka ring manual na sales invoice, untitled ng dokumento, yung point of sales mo, dapat sales invoice din yung title ng document. So, yan yung alignment, yung recent memorandum nila. So again, si accounting software, ERP, or anything na software, like kagaya sa mga, kasama dito yung sa mga school, ano ba tawag doon? Yung mga, kasi may mga school ngayon, like sila FCPC, tapos sila De La Salle, digital na rin sila kasi nagbabayad na rin yung parents through portal. Nag-generate ng resibo yon. So kasama yon, kasama dito yon. Ito lang yung mga major, kasi mga bago na yan, yung mga student portal, yung parents portal, bago na siya. And then, pati yung sa mga hospital. Sa hospital naman, hindi sila pwede mag-CAS kung hindi sila accredited ng PhilHealth, walang certificate. Okay? So prior requirements yung certificate ng accreditation sa PhilHealth before mag-CAS. So yun. So ang pinagkaiba sa kabuuan, ang pinagkaiba ng POS, CRM, and accounting softwares like yung mga ERP, mga student portals, and yung mga hospital portals, yung ginagamit nila dyan. Yung mga accounting softwares and mga ERP, no need na po siyang mag-register o mag-comply doon sa PTU. hindi na siya hindi na ini-issuehan siya ng permit to use or yan, yung permit to use ng BIR or PTU. So yan lang naman yung pinagkaiba ng dalawa. But until now, yung POS and CRM, kailangan ng PTU yan. Okay? So, Pixel Care also a POS provider. So, for example, ginamit niyo yung POS namin, which is Zionic, yung nabanggit kanina ni Miss Erica, one of our project portfolio is the Zionic POS. So, sa madaling salita, si Zionic POS is cash ready na po yan. Pero, kung meron kayong existing na POS, tapos pagkakas po kayo, makikita po ni BIR yan through spot audit kung cash ready yung POS nyo hindi. Kasi meron tayong tinatawag na tax mapping. Kung sa tax mapping, kung familiar tayo sa tax mapping, may mga color coding yan. May red, yellow, and green. Okay? So, kung nakareceive ka ng yellow, first attempt, yon, yung yellow na yon. Yung green, yung third, second, yung red. Okay? So, pag nakumpleto nyo po yon, magkakaroon kayo ng certificate of cash compliance, yung machine na ginagamit nyo. Yan. Pero, yun, kung kailangan yun ng assistance namin, the Pixel Care, pwede namin i-assess yung existing system nyo, existing na system na ginagamit nyo, regardless kung ERP or POS po yan. Next slides, ma'am. Hello? Ma'am, next. Ayun. Ito, yung nabanggit ko kanina, large taxpayer, sila yung required talaga, 100. Yung 100 na large taxpayers. Pero kasi medyo tighten na yung enforcement ng CAS ni BIR, lalo na ngayon parang ini-enforce na din nila yung paggamit ng EIS o ng e-invoice. Yan sila large taxpayers, tapos voluntarily yung mga maliliit naman gaya ng nasabi ko kanina na habang maliit pa yung company or starter pa lang to, dapat i-align na natin sa CAS para ito yung for the future na lumaki na yung data is madali na lang talaga i-comply natin sa CAS, madali na lang yung alignment. Yan, ito yung computerized yung books of accounts. Yan yung hinihingi. Actually, ito yung books of accounts, madami kasi yan eh. Books of accounts, ito yung naka-tie up doon sa CAS module na naka-integrate naman doon sa system natin. So, next slides po, ma'am. Registration requirements. Ito, madali lang siya. Basically, ito yung standard initial application. May mga requirements siya na company profile, COR or yung BIR Certificate of Registration, which is yung BIR 2303. 1900 application for CAS adoption, pero nabago na siya eh. Meron ding yan, using of cash register machine, yung 1907. Kapag meron po tayong POS, like yung nabanggit ko kanina, kung existing yung POS nyo at hindi yan nakakas, pwede po tayong ma-penalize po dyan. Okay, kaya kailangan si tax compliance or accounting, parati po siyang updated doon sa posting or mga RMO, RMC na inilalabas ng BIR. Primarily, pinupost po nila yan sa portal lang po nila, which is dun sa BIR website, official gazette ng BIR portal. Doon po natin mababasa yung mga updated na mga RMC, RMC and RMO. Location of map business yan, kailangan po yan, yung mga GIS, hinihingi nila yan eh. Inventory of unused invoices if applicable, yan kung meron tayong existing na mga manual, list of branches na gumagamit ng CAS. Like For example, sa ERP, si headquarters gumagamit ng SAP Business One. Si store or si regional office or satellite office gumagamit naman din ng SAP. Tapos at the same time, meron din siyang ginagamit na POS. So lahat po yung kailangan CAS compliance. Pero pag isa doon at walang CAS compliance, for example, kadalasan kasi based on our experience, yung mga POS hindi siya CAS compliance. So magkakamali na yung reporting. Ibig sabihin, yung report mo sa POS, itatawid mo ba ng manual yon? Magkakaroon ka ng manual intervention dun sa report ng POS bago mo ipasok sa CAS. So mali yun. Kasi meron tayong tinatawag na spot audit ni BIR. Yun po yung medyo madugo. Hindi natin alam kung kailan. Hindi natin alam. Pwedeng tumatakbo na yung kumpanya mo ng 5 to 10 years tapos nagkaroon ng spot audit. Hahanapin lahat yung historical data. Yun ang madugo kasi nagpapalit na kayo ng tao, empleyado, 'di ba? Ito yung isang benefit ng CAS at saka yung EIS. Magpalit-palit pa ng tao, still intact yung system na mismo nagre-report sa BIR. Yan po yung sinasabi natin na napakalaking benefits dun sa company. Kasi sa ngayon ang challenges, pagka nagpapalit ng tao, nagkakaroon ng transition in terms of endorsement. Hindi lahat yan na-endorse ng tao. Kunyari si tax compliance officer, nag-resign. Kailangan mo yung tao eh. So, kukuha ka ng panibagong tao, mag-endorse. Hindi naman lahat ng kaagad-agad na-adapt nung pinagpasahan ng trabaho. Wala kang standard. Yan. Ito yung mga isa sa technical documentation. Technical documentation, ito yung existing nyo. Idodrawing nyo yun eh. Sa mga, for example, yung si SAP Business One. Kapag existing user po kayo ng SAP Business One, ang kagandahan po nun is alam na po kasi may mga projects na rin po kami for CAS registration. Tapos yung client namin existing na SAP Business One. So, eto seamless na lang po sa amin yan. Madali na lang pong i-process yan. Kasi unang-una yung technical documentation, meron na po kaming standard yan. Actually, kinukuha nyo yan sa post-provider nyo. ERP provider. Sila yon. Or kung meron kayong ibang company kasi merong mga tinatawag na ERP champion, sila yung nagpo-provide po niyan, yung technical documentation. Right. Ganon din yung software and database details sa provider nyo rin kukunin yan. System functions and features sa provider din po yan. Same as the backup and disaster recovery plans. Lahat yan kay provider ng accounting system nyo. Sample reports and layouts. Ito yung standard ito na for example, ibig sabihin po ng sample reports and layouts, hindi ito yung existing na ginagamit nating module. Like for example, si SAP Business One. Alam natin, as per standard ng SAP Business One, meron siyang standard reports and layouts. So, hindi ibig sabihin nito is kung ano lang yung existing na ginagamit nyo na reports. Okay? So, ang reports po na yan, yung standard ng SAP Business One. Lahat po yung dapat ibigay. Loose leaf o yung manual. Ito yung mga manual na resibo. Mga manual na kung meron kayong existing na mga loose leaf, yung may series din ng BIR, kailangan din po i-declare. Okay? So, next slides, please. Ayun, registration, meron tayong dalawang category. For enhancement, kung existing kayo, no, like yung sinabi ko kanina, nabanggit ko rin kanina to, kung CAS na po tayo, sabi ko nga ang CAS na yan, 1983 pa yan, nag-i-evolve, nag-i-enhance. Kung tinamaan kayo kung may existing CAS na kayo ng certificate, meron kasi dyan mga existing, may mga acknowledgement certificate na ng CAS na na-receive since 90s pa. Meron na yan, ini-implement na nila yan. Pero may enhancement sa side ng BIR. Maglalabas ulit sila ng memorandum. Kailangan pa rin po nating i-comply yun. Mag-submit lang kayo ng letter detailing for enhancement. Ito yung babaguhin. Okay? So, yan yung sa side ng BIR kung meron silang changes. Sa side din naman po ng taxpayers, kung meron din po tayong changes. For example, meron na akong sales invoice. Hindi. Sa AP side na lang. Sa AP side, kadalasan nawawala na, hindi na ini-implement parate ang PR o yung purchase request. Okay? Si purchase request, pini-PO na kaagad. 'Di ba? Merong ganong mga company, PO na kaagad ang ginagawa nila. Ito yung purchase to pay, yung P2P. So pini-PO na kaagad nila yon, nakakalimutan yung PR. So ngayon, in the middle of transaction, kunyari existing cash user kayo, cash compliance, may certificate kayo, si taxpayers. May changes kayo ngayon, gusto nyo na ngayon na i-implement yung PR. Kailangan nyo mag-send ng letter kay kay BIR o kung saan kayo reported. Kasi kukunin din nila yun yung series po nun. Tsaka yung design, yung layout, yun. Meron silang design and layout, standard na mga layouts ng mga forms. Yan. Include the copy of previous issued permit. Ayan. So, yun, kasama yun kung ano yung certificate or permit na na-receive nyo. Sa enhancement po yan and modification. Next slides po, ma'am. Compliance steps. Okay, choose BIR accredited. Ito yung sa mga hindi siya existing, sa mga bago, no? Newly, parang new company. So, yun nga, nasabi ko nga kanina, as I mentioned earlier, na much better kung bago pa lang yung company, mag-comply na kaagad. I-comply na kaagad natin yung CAS through accredited software. Pag accredited software kasi, less na yung headache ko dyan na magkakaroon pa kami ng development, ng et cetera, di ba? May mga technical works pang mangyayari kapag hindi accredited yung software. Pero kung accredited na yung software, madali na lang po yan. Hindi na natin pag-uusapan dito yung mga technical works. Okay? More on documents, compliance na lang po yan. Ipo-provide na lang kung anong hinihingi ng revenue officer. Okay, submit complete documentation to RDO. Kapag na-provide na po natin lahat yun, kung meron tayo nun, magsasubmit na ng documentation. Yung documentation, mamaya I think madadaanan dito sa slides na to, no? Tapos, system demonstration. Yung system demonstration, ito yung kunyari, for example, meron na akong ERP, nag-submit na ako ngayon, naka-receive na ako ng acknowledgement certificate ng CAS. Yung system demonstration na tinatawag po dito, ano to, spot audit. Actually, after nyo maka-receive ng acknowledgement certificate, pwede nyo nang gamitin yung system nyo. Pwede nang gamitin yung system nyo or depende yan sa dineclare nyo doon sa sworn statement. Magagawa kayo ng sworn statement kasama doon sa sworn statement kung kailan nyo gagamitin yung system. Si taxpayers, you have the liberty kung kailan nyo gagamitin yan, kung yan, until such time na ma-comply. Kasi iniiwasan din naman ni BIR, hindi nila business, hindi nila ginagawang business yung mag-penalty. Yun lang yung gustong ni-emphasize ni BIR dito. Marami kasing nag-iisip na bakit magpe-penalty, parang ginagawa ng business yan. So, yun yung pinupush nila dito. Binibigyan kayo ng time. Okay? May may mga ano pa nga yan first, second, una papadalang kayo ng actual physical letter, hindi yan nag-email kasi traditional lang BIR. Bihira sila mag-email. Okay? So, ito yung last part, maintain electronic records for at least 6 years. Alam na lang ano nito. Ito yung relative naman to doon sa compliance ng kung merong sila taxpayers or kung meron kayong existing na DP o DPA, yung mga sa NTC ano naman, so nandun yung requirements. Binind nila yung requirements na yan. At least I think 10 years daw eh. 10 years yan. Hindi na siya basta 6 years. Next slides po, ma'am. Policy update. Ayan, yung nabanggit ko na kanina, no? Yung permit to use no longer required for cash registration. Kapag ERP, accounting software, or student portal, hospital portal, yan yung mga hindi kailangan ng PTU. But still, yung POS and CRM, kailangan pa rin po yan ng PTU. PTU requirements, prior requirements yan before ng CAS. Okay? System demonstration is not mandatory before use. Okay? So, yung system demonstration, upon request yan ng BIR. Pupunta yan sa office nyo. Ang gagawin niya, lahat ng sinend nyo po na sample reports or sample forms which is system generated, including yung mga loose leaf, yan, dun lang po sila magbe-base ng audit. Titignan nila yan, yung live transaction nyo, kung tama ba na ginamit ninyo yung ine-register nyong system. Yun lang po yan. Okay. Ayan o, acknowledgement certificate will be issued within 3 working days. So, napakadali niyan. Minsan, standard nila yan. Pero, depende pa rin sa RDO or sa national. Depende sa situation or sa scenario. For example, naka-receive kayo ng letter. Itong sinasabi na acknowledgement certificate, you can receive you can receive the acknowledgement certificate within 3 working days. Standard po yan. Okay? Pero kung kayo is naka-receive na ng letter na meron ng findings itong BIR, yan po yung tapos ngayon pa lang natin kino-comply, ganyan pa lang tayo kumikilos, nag-i-start pa lang tayo. Pwedeng walang penalty po yan, hindi po magkaka-penalty yan. Ang gagawin nila, matatagalan lang yan. Matatagalan na ibigyan kayo ng hindi lang 3 working days yan. Mangyayari dyan, pwedeng maging 3 months, 2 months, or 6 months, or 1 year bago nyo ma-receive yung certificate of acknowledgement, yung AR. So, yan ang po yung pinagkaiba po niyan, ano? Kapag naka-receive, kaya hanggat maaari, huwag sana tayo maka-receive ng letter. Okay, so next slide po, ma'am. Break time, Q&A. Haba yung Q&A nito. E-invoice flow with cash registration, cash integration. Ito, yan, e-invoice, transaction initiation. For example, nag-create ng sales invoice si user. Automatic recorded yan sa cash, which is integrated na po yan sa existing system nyo. POS or CRM or accounting system, accounting software, recorded yan doon, ano? Second, invoice generation. Transaction, ginawa sa number 1, sa initiation. Second, invoice generation. The cash generates an electronic invoice or receipt in JSON format. JSON format is a technical requirements from the BIR. Yan lang yung format ng reports na kailangan nila para pumasok. Kailangan ng server nila. Digital signature, the invoice is digitally signed to ensure authenticity. 4. The invoice is transmitted to the BIR's EIS portal using the sales data transmission systems, which must be certified by the BIR. At this point, may may method naman diyan na ito pwede sa standard automated pwede sa portal namin, nakikita namin yung upload sa talaga ng dashboard, may manual sa pwede sa manual. So number 5, delinquent store will be available for audit and reporting master verification. Ito, 10 years na. 10 years yung kailangan ng data kasi anytime sila BIR, dati pag nag-spot demo, spot audit sila, pupunta sila sa store, sa stock. Madalas sila sticker, yellow, red, green. So, doon sila nag-audit minsan. Ngayon, hindi na nila gagawin yon. Although, yes, may gumagawa pa rin nun. Unti-unti mawawala yon. Ang gagawin nila, mag-audit sila through system. So, anytime, pwede silang mag-audit through EIS. Kaya dun sa part ng transition ng integration, magkakaroon din ng question. May forms yun yung pipilapan. May question doon na pwede silang i-allow natin sila BIR na kumonek o mag-audit doon sa system via EIS. So yun yun. Last is the BIR officials access. Ito yan, may access sila sa data via EIS. Diyan sila mag-spot audit. So yun yung yung paano ba to, yung kung paano nila ini-enhance yung system. Tinatanggal na nila yung mga manual intervention kasi nagbabawas din sila ng tao. So yung mga pumupunta, magpapakalat sila ng tao sa buong bansa para mag-spot audit, hindi na nila gagawin yon doon na. Kapag fully compliant na sa CAS and EIS, yung yung buong businesses sa Pilipinas. Next slides mo, ma'am. Same lang yan doon sa kanina, yung flow, no? Transaction, initiation, generation ng invoice, signature, for authenticity, data transmission, tapos storage reporting and monitoring by BIR. Though parang yung monitoring by BIR, sabi ko nga, anytime yan, unless na merong nangyayari na, for example, ang binabantayan kasi nila dyan, yung system, kahit hindi nila alam yung source code, doon lang sila sa reports layout, yung mga ganun, especially doon sa mga series of invoices. Ano yan, napakahigpit nila dyan. Kailangan walang bungi yon. Since nag-start yung, for example, nag-start yung ginamit nyo yung accounting software nyo na registered nyo sa CAS. For example, ginamit nyo kahapon yan, April 28. Dapat papatak yun ang series niya. Kung nakapag-issue ka ng 10 invoice kahapon, dapat ang series na naka-date ng April 28, dapat 1 to 10 din. Okay, tapos sumunod na araw, April 29, 11 to 12 naman kung ilan. Ganun yung tinitingnan nila dyan. Pag may nawala lang na isa doon, yon magkakaroon na ng ano yan, i-access nila yung audit trail naman yan. Titignan nila kung saan may issue, kung system failure yan, dapat i-justify ng provider ng ERP o ng CAS o ng EIS. Middleware yan. So, ibig sabihin, lahat dito may 3 parties involved dito, no? Si taxpayers, yung provider ng software, provider ng EIS at ng CAS. Hindi ibig sabihin si BIR is nakatutok lang parati doon sa taxpayers. Tinitignan din nila yung behavior or activity na ginagawa ng provider doon sa system while nagkakaroon ng mga transaction sa data. Yan, mahigpit sila dyan. Okay, next slides po, ma'am. Mahaba to. Transaction. Ito na yung kanina. Tinagal ko lang. So, Yung initiation, yun yung transaction na ginagawa dun sa accounting software, POS, CRM, or ERP. Okay, tapos invoice generation, yung mga magpiprint, tapos signature for authenticity, transmission, going to CAS, going to EIS server ng BIR. Storage and reporting within 10 years. Pareho lang siya, ma'am. Next slide, please. Ayan, ito yung mga kailangan nating i-prepare prior to CAS registration. Checklist of CDR o yung documentary requirements. Mahaba po yan. I think kasama dito yung detalye, may details yan eh. Multiple forms po yan. Tapos dun sa isang forms, may fill upan doon kung ano yung available dun sa accounting software natin. Kung available yung ganyan, available yung ganito, ganyan. Standard functional requirements. Yan, kino-audit ng BIR yan. And then, yan, sworn statement. And then, summary of description, Annex C1. So, summary of system description, kasama dyan yung mga, ipapasa natin yung mga system-generated na forms. Okay. So, ito naman, we would suggest na, for example, dun sa mga existing na may ERP or accounting software users, better na gumawa tayo ng staging or test database para at least hindi nagagalaw yung live. Doon natin gagawin yung structure ng mga forms na kailangan nating i-comply o i-follow based on sa requirements ng BIR. Okay, so yun yung best practice. Gawa tayo ng test database or staging para doon tayo maggalaw. Pero i-identical natin yung setup ng live doon sa pag gumawa tayo ng test database. Tapos doon natin babaguhin kung ano yung kailangan i-comply naman kay BIR. Okay, so next slides, please. Yung general information pala, pakibalik, ma'am. Nandun sa mababasa natin sa RMO Revenue Memorandum Order number 9-2021. Ayun, ma'am, paki-move forward. One step forward. Ayan na nakalagay, RMO number or Revenue Memorandum Order number 9-2021. Andiyan lahat nung, kung gusto niyo basahin, yung lahat ng details on how to register to CAS. Okay, so next slides, ma'am. Ito yung sample ng ng AC, Acknowledgement Certificate. So, silyado yan, sealed, may sealed ng BIR yan. Pagka na-receive nyo yan, may date naman yan, kung kailan date issued. Tapos, for example, ito yung nabanggit ko din kanina na kahit meron na kayo niyan, kung merong adjustment o enhancement na mangyayari sa BIR side, kailangan nyong i-comply ulit yon. Or sa side naman ng taxpayers, kung merong changes, kailangan nyo rin i-register ulit. Hindi naman siya mag-uulit ng registration, kundi yung isang module lang or isang reports na inad nyo sa side nyo. Yung kagaya ng yung PO, kadalasan ginagamit is PO na diretso, wala ng PR. Tapos pag mag-request kayo na kunyari i-implement na yung PR, yun kailangan i-register ulit. Magpa-process ulit tayo ng enhancement naman yung process na. Pero hindi na kagaya nung first registration ng CAS na mahaba. Next slides, ma'am. Ayun, ito yung sample ng anong resibo ba to? Ayun, for example, ito yung sample ng sample receipt SI yata to, sales invoice. CR, collection receipt. Ayan, ganyan yung format na kailangan sales invoice, ganyan din. Tapos sa baba may nakalagay, this document is not valid for claim of input tax Okay? Ang pinagkaiba, by the way, ang hospital nga pala, non-VAT po siya, no? Non-VAT ang hospital. Okay. So, lahat ng invoice, wala silang sales invoice o meron, I think wala silang sales invoice. May nakalagay parati sa baba nila na this document is not valid for claim of input tax. Pero, pwede kayong manghingi ng invoice, particularly doon sa mga gamot na binibili natin sa pharmacy ng hospital. May sales invoice yun, but depende kasi may yung cash registration kasi sa mga food drugs industry, FDA, naka-ano yun naka-compliance din sila sa CAS na kung ano lang yung riresibuhan doon sa mga gamot. May listahan yun. So yun naka-CAS din yung kasama yung mga invoice na yun na i-align sa CAS. Pag sa hospital, madugo yung sa hospital kasi may pinipili tayong VAT tsaka non-VAT, vatable items. So next slides po, ma'am. Okay, yung timetables, ayan, ito na yung buong standard timeline for cash registration. Requirements natin from A to K. Notarized sworn statement, Annex C, Board of Reso, SecCert, kung meron tayo niyan. For the representative, SecCert. Huwag natin siya kalimutan parate. Yung representative na meaning siya yung magsasubmit at magre-receive, siya po dapat is may secretariat certificate. So, ayan. And then, kasama yung COR, summary of description, Annex C. Ito yung detalye nung yung details nung Annex C o yung summary of system description. System description, list of branches that will use the software, list of modules per software per system, list of approved books of account, financial statements, BIR forms, server specification, technical infrastructure, yan, backup and procedure and disaster recovery plan. Letter D, yung mga sample na to, yan, kailangan nating i-generate yan. Hihingin po nila lahat yan. Tapos, print copy ng audit trail, activity log generated by system. Tapos, yung iba hinihingi nila yung sa audit trail, bukod sa manghihingi na ng hard copy, nanghihingi pa ng soft copy. So, depende sa RDO yan. Yung duly accomplished and signed Annex B na standard functionality ng system. Annex A, technical evaluation checklist. Ito, i-guide namin kayo yung mga user all throughout the forms, yung pag-fill up, kung anong dapat ilagay based dun sa, kasi yung first gagawin ni Pixel Care is to assess your existing systems. Yun, para naman gagawa namin ng timetable yan na para ma-comply. Kasi dito pa lang sa dokumento, kung merong mga kulang dun sa existing systems or accounting software na ginagamit nyo, internal, kumbaga, si Pixel Care muna ang mag-a-assess sa inyo. Ayusin natin yun, i-align natin based sa requirements before tayo mag-register sa CAS. So lahat ito gagawin natin. Submission of requirements to BIR. Though si client talaga nagsasubmit ng mga system-generated reports, yung mga annexes, yung mga forms, lahat yun. Pero sa side namin, pwede namin kayong samahan sa BIR or sa regional office or sa national office man kayo magsasubmit. Ayun, again, yung releasing yung K, letter K, KL na dulo. Releasing of CAS, ayan, within 3 days lang yan. Tapos, system audit, depende yan sa scenario o sa situation, kung naka-receive kayo ng letter or hindi, or meron na kayong historical data ng mapping, tax mapping, yan, depende po yan, So, yung sinasabi lang po dito is yung standard. Yung system audit, anytime yan, pwede silang mag-request. Actual yung system audit natin. Yung audit nila is yung hihingi mo na ng mga forms yan, ng mga copy dun sa kasi 'di ba kunyari for example naka-receive na kayo ng, acknowledgement, certificate na ibig sabihin complied na tayo kay CAS, registered na tayo. Ngayon mag-o-audit na sila after 3 months, after 1 year, gano'n. Titignan nila ngayon yung transaction, kung tama yun, kung align ba talaga. Okay, so, next slides ma'am, meron pa ba? EIS. Okay, ito yung EIS, actually para lang din siyang, automation, collects invoice and receipts data electronically generated from the CAS. Okay, so sabi nga natin, si CAS is a prior requirements to EIS. So, requires business to transmit sales data to BI in real time or near real time. So meaning, binanggit ko kanina, puwede nating gawing real time 'yan, puwedeng may intervention diyan si taxpayers. Puwede niyang may tao ka na parang clicker or siyempre before i-send kailangan, kung based dun sa policy niyo, kung kailangan dumaan muna kay tax compliance officer 'yan before niya i-send, iche-check niya muna para walang error, puwedeng gawin po 'yun. So, ito technical requirements na yan ano, structured format like JSON or XML for data submission. But sa Philippines, JSON yung format ng structure format ng report. So, it saan ba tayo? Next slides, ma'am. Ano ba? Ito na yung details, step-by-step invoice registration. Determine applicability, check if your business is required to register. So, dito parang, hindi naman kailangan
Excuse me, Sir Dindo. Nawala po kayo. Yung speaker niya. Thank you,
Hello,
sir.
hello. Yan.
Yes, okay na.
Okay. Yung sinasabing determined applicability check if your business is required to register, guys. Hindi naman natin, yes, it's right to determine na kung applicable ka kayo mag-register to BIS. But sa amin, sa fix and care, emphasis ko na both taxpayers with BIR, yung systemic BIS. Hindi lang naman when we say BIS, hindi lang also for sa compliance with BIR in terms of the working. May benefit din ito sa side ng taxpayers o sa company. Parang kung ako yung owner, pwede kong i-less, nangyari. Kasi habang lumalaki yung transaction, isipin natin, lalaki din. Dadami tao ko. Kunyari, iba-iba nag-handle, pero isang department, tax compliance, meron na ako 20 headcounts. Kailangan ko magbawas. Diba? Kasi malaki na yung headcounts ko, magpa-process. Recurring process naman. Ito, recurring processes ito na kayang i-address to EIS. So, ito yung sagot ng impact dun sa in terms of payroll sa labor cost nila. Pwede natin ibaba yung labor cost nyo. At nang sa gano'n, seamless din yung reporting. Pwede kasi isang tao na lang yung nagmamanage dito ng EIS portal. So, yan. Not actually, not technically, yes, compliance siya ng kinakomply natin ng BIR. Tinitingnan din natin yung benefits sa side naman ng taxpayers. So, but yun nga, ang prior talaga ng BIR dito sa in-deploy nila based dun sa signed memorandum ng commissioner ng BIR for the EIS is applicable or in-enforce nila ito to all 100 taxpayers and exporters. exporters, taxpayers, and exporters, including yung may mga e-commerce. E-commerce kasi parang pagka may e-commerce ka, kunyari online store na hindi ka naman nakakapag-issue ng manual OR kasi yung mga registration ng mga e-commerce o yung mga online stores, hindi naman kailangan mag-registers ng ATP yan. Wala sila nun. So, ang bayaran kasi dyan, non-cash lahat yan. So, yun yung isa din yun sa kailangan ma-comply pag-register dun sa EIS NCAS. Ayun, tutulungan namin kayong i-prepare yung system. Yeah, again, may assessment naman na mangyayari dun sa mga existing accounting software user. And then, ano pa ba? Register on the EIS certificate portal, submit the company details, undergo the system training validation. Ayan, yun yung kanina rin, bumalik tayo sa detalye, napaka-details lang nito. Start issuing, generate and digitally sign invoices to format upload in the EIS in real-time batch mode. Yan. So, meaning yung flow ng EIS, kunyari na-generate na sa system, pwede mong i-download, export, then export from EIS yung reporting, then import naman pagdating dun sa EIS. Pwede po natin gawin yun. So meron kaming ibang seminar. Ma'am, meron tayo sa EIS. Doon natin makikita yung mga methodology of reporting through EIS portal. So nandun yung manual, may manual intervention tayo. Kung malaki masyado yung data or large taxpayers tayo, marami yung transaction, pwede natin i-integrate yan at i-automate para seamless naman yung reporting. Okay. But dun sa mga small, medium enterprise, pwede namang magkaroon ng intervene or manual intervention. Yun nga, yung import-export na gagawin natin. So, dun lang, ang cons lang nung automation, yung magkakaroon kasi tayo ng integration doon. I-integrate namin yung EIS middleware dun sa system, existing system nyo. So, yun lang naman yung pinagkaiba ng two methods of reporting. Okay, ano pa ba? Next, ma'am. Ito na yung portal ng BIR, Again, yung sa mga tax compliance officers or department, accounting, especially yung accounting, mag-check lang tayo parati ng update sa BIR portal. Okay, next slides mo, ma'am. Main features, EIS na to, yan. Create application for EIS certification. Ang application ng EIS po through online. Pero prior to that, ito yung parang magsasubmit muna ako ng dokumento sa RDO, tapos ibabalik nila doon sa sworn statement, doon nila gagawin yung magkakaroon ng username and password doon sa EIS portal ng BIR, si taxpayers. And then, from there, kunyari may account na tayo sa EIS, yun na yun. Ayun, na-request nila for using a sandbox, yung testing. Doon na magkakaroon ng mag-i-initiate na ng testing sa mga forms. Pero prior to this testing, dapat align na tayo based on sa technical requirements o nabanggit ko kayo na CDR ng CAS. Align na dapat muna yon bago tayo makapag-initiate ng testing. Okay? So, nandyan din yung API guidelines and yung supports. Yan. Though nagpalit sila BIR, nagpalit ng vendor yan for the EIS portal nila. Next slides po, ma'am. Ayun. Ito yung example o dashboard ng EIS middleware program. Meron tayo, ayun yung total invoices, outbound, inbound. Yan. success rate. Lalabas din dito yung I think kung may mga errors na kailangan i-check, yan. So ito yung sinasabi po natin na for example yung tax compliance department ko is meron ng 20 headcounts, pwede po natin gawin yun, isang tao na lang. So ang laki ng benefit ng company nun. Isang tao na lang ang mag-ooperate nitong program na to. Doon lang siya nakatutok. Okay? So next slides po, ma'am. Ayan, ito yun, yung transaction na mismo. Yung export, tapos refresh, yan. Ito yung transition, yung transaction transaction niya. So, ito yung part ng minsan titignan ng BIR in terms of audit. So, next slides po, ma'am. Company information. Ito yung during registration sa EIS. Company, yan, unang-una requirements, yung tax identification number, COR, yan, meron naman yan, meron tayo yan. So, ang format lang nito is sa Malaysia. Next slides po. Although tapos na siya, 2023 ba? Ayan. Meron ng ano to ulit, may bago na siya ulit na, yun, again, mag-check lang tayo parati ng updates doon sa BIR portal. So, ini-encourage ko yung mga large taxpayers na tumingin lang tayo parati ng update. Especially doon sa mga tax compliance department or officer. I think yung part ng major role nila is yung mga update coming from the BIR portal. So, kailangan tingnan lang parati nila yon. Kasi doon nagkakaroon minsan ng issue, hindi lahat ng company is merong tax compliance. Ang gumagawa niyan, accounting. So, yung accounting, sa dami ng transaction, sa dami ng ginagawa, nakakalimutan tumingin doon sa BIR portal kung ano yung update sa mga in terms of taxation. Ang nangyayari, ang trigger nila, once naka-receive ng email or actual or physical letter coming from the BIR, doon na sila natitrigger. Kailangan na pala natin mag-comply o kailangan palang i-enhance yung system. So, yan, I would suggest na mag-check parati ng update doon sa BIR portal natin. Next slides, ma'am. Sige, ira-run pa ba natin yung mahaba yan eh. Siguro pwede na nilang basahin yan per individual, pero standard lang lahat yan. Large corporation, big companies with significant financial transaction must use a computerized accounting system to ensure accurate and transparent records. Medium-sized enterprises and players with transaction must also adapt to streamline their accounting processes and avoid manual errors. So, yung question na yun, maganda yung question na yun, who is required to register with CAS? So, ang explanation is, tingnan nyo, parang mag-comply man tayo, hindi man tayo mag-comply, pero sabihin man natin na nagre-report tayo manually sa lahat ng mga requirements in terms of taxation to BIR. Pero, bakit nagkakaroon pa rin ng penalty? Diba? May nangyayari na kasi si BIR, ang penalty, ang basis ng the basis of the BIR to penalize is that first, nag-submit ka nga pero mali yung report na sinubmit mo o mali yung context o mali yung numbers, subject for penalty pa din yon. Late submission, subject for penalty. Hindi ka mag-submit, no submission, subject for penalty. Yan yung mga first three criteria ng BIR para ka ma-penalize. Unang-una, napakahigpit nila dyan kasi maraming accounting. na iko-comply, mag-submit lang sila, iko-comply nila yung submission, pero yung context o yung laman, yung reports is mali. Penalty pa din yun. Yun yung gusto natin maintindihan lahat. So, alam naman lahat ng mga accounting or CPA yan na pag mali yung report, sabihin nga natin nag-submit, mali yung report, subject for penalty. Mas malaki kasi yung penalty nun. So, ano pa ba yung question? If taxpayer generates sales invoice or official receipt from an authorized cash, they will be penalized with 1,000 for each document issued for a maximum of 25,000 per year. Ayun, yung failure to ano to, mali yung numbers. Na-report nila yan eh. Ibig sabihin na na-submit nila yan, pero mali kasi yung format, mali yung numbers, yun. So, when a criminal action, yung 3, can the BIR file a criminal case without an assessment? When a criminal action for violation of tax laws is filed, a prior assessment is not required. Ibig sabihin, parang neither is final assessment a precondition to collection or delinquent taxes in criminal tax case. The criminal action is deemed a collection case. So, ibig sabihin, may kumbaga may findings, may yung fact-finding teams, buo na, kumbaga, naka-file na eh. Meron kang, hindi na kailangan ng assessment yon. Kumbaga, yung case is final na, filed na yung tax evasion, for example, tax evasion, yun, may kulong kasi yun. May malaki yung penalty plus may, hindi ko alam kung ilang taon yung ikukulong yung owner. Kaya ito yung ginagawa naman ng ginagawa naman iba ng accounting. Maraming kayang gawin ng accountant para mawala yung criminal case. Next po, ma'am. Haba pa yata yung mga questions. Hello? If I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
yes, ma'am. If I'm not a large taxpayer or nor engaged in e-commerce export of goods and services, can I? Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, yes. Mandated yan pagkadating sa mga import-export, e-commerce, yun yung nabanggit ko na kanina. Kasi hindi nga sila nag-i-issue ng, wala silang ATP. So, kailangan nilang digital yung mga resibo. Others, ano pa ba to? Are large taxpayers. Ayan, ma'am. So,
Sorry.
eto, yung huli na lang, yung huli. Yan. Ano pa ba to? Error. Codes mean error in mandatory seller, information, tax registration. Hindi na yata, ano to ma'am, technical, ano na siya. E-takes away, mahaba din to eh. Ayun, nasabi ko na yata kanina yan, ano, yung efficiency ng in terms of cost efficient. Parang makakatipid yung si taxpayers kasi nga in terms of labor cost, di ba? So, bababa. Yun lang naman yung main benefit niyan. And kasi sa ngayon, si BIR nagpe-penalize na rin through wrong submission, nag-submit nga pero mali, nabanggit ko kanina, nagpe-penalty din sila ron. So, ito, once na cash registered na tayo at may EIS na din, so 100% zero errors po yan. So, ibig sabihin, tanggal na sa sakit ng ulo natin yung mape-penalty pa ba ako nito kasi tama naman 100% perfect na yung mga reporting ko, on time na rin ako mag-reports, yan yun eh. So, hindi lang tayo nakatipid dun sa hindi lang natin natipid yung labor cost, na itama pa natin yung reporting natin doon, at siyempre, hindi na tayo mag-aalala na baka ma-penalty ako, baka ganyan, di ba? So, kadalasan dyan, nag-struggle yung mga manual reporting pagdating ng April, parang hindi mo na makakausap yung mga accounting kasi kung saan sana naghahanap ng mga datas. Iyan yung issue. So, again, we are here, Pixel Care is here to assess and guide you throughout the processes of the CAS and EIS. So again, thank you very much, and good afternoon to everyone.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Sir Dindo, for leading our webinar. And once again, thank you, everyone. And we hope you find this session valuable.